Hello guys, my name is Beza and I welcome you to TopChat. This is a show that tackles societal problems with just a little gathering, and that's why I invited me and some of my friends here to come sit down and talk about something very pertinent in the society today. By my right, I have the beautiful, gorgeous Jane Francis, and by my left, another beautiful, fine looking, made in heaven. But there.
How can you give her all the credit? It is not fair. This is not fair. You can't give her all the credit. I don't like this.
I talked about you too.
No, expatiate in my own end.
Okay. Okay, guys. So today we are going to be discussing about deviant behaviors in school, and I want to find out what's going on. Why are children behaving the way they do? These days, you see children trying to fight teachers. You see them drawing on the board, drawing new pictures. What's going on? Actually, let's get to find out why are they doing what they do.
I think it's all about the foundation and the education they receive at home. Nowadays, we realize that children have a lot of laissez-faire with the advent of the internet, with parents who are just so super busy that they have little or no time to really educate their children. You realize that the education those children receive is mostly from the outsiders. That's either their friends or the neighborhoods. In fact, the environments where they find themselves. So for them, they don't have limits. They don't have limits. They have a sort of liberty, and they think that they are big enough. Because if you realize, majority of these children, you cannot talk to them. You cannot talk to them. You cannot even talk to them. Imagine that a child of about 15 or 16 years old is smoking. Is found smoking.
You're saying 15, but I know children who are 12 and they do smoke.
I've even seen the ones that are still informing and they're actually smoking. So
it's really
recently there was this information of one lady. In fact, the parents of one child went to the police to report that their child is missing. Then, after some times, they got a call from the station and they made them understand that they called their daughter in a guest house with her friends. They were having parties. That she left the house and she was out of the house for about 3 days. Then they realized that they had been into that house having fun, drinking alcohol. That child was just 14 years old. You see the gravity of things. How would you as a parent sit home and then maybe your child starts behaving like that and you tend to know about it from people who are outside already?
What if the parents are actually very busy?
we don't think so, because there are some parents that really do actually neglect their children just because they want to make money. Like, okay, they'll be like, I want to give him or her everything. So they go to work, like they work and come back late. They don't have connection, like they don't talk to them. Like at times something may be worrying the child and the child will like be like, okay, let me meet my mom. And your mom is not always at home. So they go to seek advice outside. So that makes certain children to start seeking the wrong advice, doing the wrong things. And you also don't know the community too that we live in. There are some communities that we live in that are actually like what they do, what the elders do, they keep to see.
The copy.
Yes.
The copy.
Where you grew up will actually shape the way you become in future. Because if you grow up where it's normal for elders to fight, smoke, do certain things, actually the children will actually turn out to be that way.
But why do I feel like there are so many worlds now? Like you have the real world that we live in, and it's an internet world, the social media. That is, for me, that is like the real deal. Like that is where all of these attitudes are coming from. Because if we want to look at it, most of the things that these children or these youth learn are from social media.
I don't think it's a social media. There are a lot of
I think for me, I think it's a social.
I don't think it's social media. Not all children have access to phones. That's one thing. It's true that a lot of them are exposed, but not all of them really have access to phones. We all know that in schools, phones are not allowed. And no matter how a student would struggle to bring his phone to school, just imagine that they have 8 hours of lessons per day. And then for all those 8 hours, all the teachers come to class. When will they watch those things? Even if they watch it while going back to school, for how long?
For me, I think it's actually the internet, because I've seen a situation where a child takes his mother's phone, goes to Facebook, creates an account, and is talking to people who send note pictures and note videos. They take their mother phones without knowing. I've even seen a situation where children take their mother phones, download certain apps and start using it without their mother's knowing. Not every mom or dad is actually that experienced that when you touch her phone, she's going to know about it. Some of them just be like, okay, this is my phone. Like my mom, for example, she just be like, this is my phone, call me this person. Or she can call herself. She will hardly take her phone and start going through, checking all the apps. You understand? So
you cannot blame the child. Because it's the parent who actually granted him access to his phone. Why would you as a parent have a phone and it is not coded, for example? Even if you don't know, it's true that technology is advancing, and then some parents who are from this generation Z, is that how they call it?
Gen Z.
Thank you.
Gen Z generation.
Just imagine that a parent who doesn't really, is not updated about this thing, the new technology. Normally, you go and meet someone who has that experience, who knows, they explain it to you. My mom, for example, when she doesn't understand something, she calls me, please come and help me. How do I do this? I want to put a password to this particular app. I want to put a password to my phone because I realize that your brothers are touching it to take pictures and all those kind of things. So it's you now as a parent, it is the parent that are supposed to make sure that they put some dispositions in place so that their children do not have access to their phones. And like I was saying earlier, it is not all children that have access to internet. It is not. Children in boarding school, how would they do?
You just need to. This is one thing we have is spoil all the book within there. So you just need to get one spoiled child in the class.
No, apart from
I can guarantee you, if you get one spoiled child in the class, you should have 10 by the end of the year.
Apart from the boarding school, in our houses, those who go to day school, even though they'll put the password, some children will still automatically know the password without even knowing that they really know and they'll start using it. So it's just like it's inborn in them. At times when you want to put it, they just look at it like, okay, this is it, I've seen it, and it's
okay, wait, what is inborn? The deviant behavior?
like,
or having the password?
Natures, like, it's actually inborn in them. That's what they do. Because you don't know how this time that okay, there was one time that my auntie called me reading her message. I was like
okay, so it's more like a testimony. Now I get it. Praise the Lord, it's more like a testimony. And if you look at the society today, like it's getting wild. I'm not disputing the fact that these are not new things. They have been happening. I mean, is it that we are overriding it because of the presence of the internet, and now we have so many channels that people get to report stuff like this? Are we overriding it, or is it actually that the thing has actually grown? Because now, if you guys talk about parents, I don't think the parents are the only ones involved. I don't think the students or the students themselves are the only ones involved. I don't think the internet also is involved. I also think like the school system. We have a lot of teachers that are absent from school when it's their period. Like they prioritize different stuff apart from the lessons they're supposed to teach, creating a gap like you spoke about. People learning 8 hours if they are present 8 hours do not have. But you always realize that there are some teachers that always come. So teachers will always come to class, and some of these teachers also are part. They're the accomplice to this deviant act. So I don't know if I'm going to see it or you guys see it the same thing.
Yeah, I feel like some of the teachers are actually complete because there are teachers who do ask students out and
Sure.
have
Sure.
sexual relations. See, how can I put it? Yeah, that is it. You cannot be asking a student out, then you want that student to behave like her age, like his or her age. Like he or she will normally wants to behave like you. Yes. Yeah. So the person will normally wants to behave like you. So some of the teachers are actually the cause of it. And also, when you don't come to school, some students use it as a free period to read. Some use it as free period to do certain things. Some of them bring their phones to school without the teachers knowing. I've been in this situation when I was in Form 4. Yes, I did that. I don't did that, but I did that in the opposite. Not for fun.
And it's like it's only for them that they don't say one.
Are you there?
My father beat me.
My phone. They took my phone. I was in hospital. They found out I was doing that.
Okay, so who took your phone? The school or your parents?
My uncle.
My dad
So
told
you
me.
didn't find out.
My dad told me with a phone when I was still in. Was it from 5? Yes. He called me with that phone. I even had to hide it in my bra because I thought he would not go and search there. He called my mama and said, "Naked your daughter and remove that phone." They beat me. They beat me exactly.
There's actually this thing back then in Form 4. There was a time that our discipline master was coming to check. Some ladies will put it inside their bag, some will put it. And my sister actually told me that in boarding school, they would put their phones inside their pan like they pack themselves with the phone. So whatever you do, the student will
Teachers, I hope you are hearing. Okay. You know how to catch it.
they will still bring it to school. And at that free period, some of them don't use it for research. Some of them
They never do
use
the music.
internet.
No
Some of them watch
student.
games. Some of them
Music
watch
research.
pornographic videos.
No, they don't want to watch these things.
I have guys in my class, they do that. When it's free period, they go behind the class and they watch.
What am I feeling like today is all about you? Like you're not telling us it's all about you.
Please, I'm a good girl.
On camera. Why you always say that? When she tells us the truth, we'll film it and give it to you guys. On camera.
I'm a good girl, I'm not a bad girl, please.
But sincerely, I think that it's all about the education we give our children back home. Because if a parent teaches his child that you do not have to envy someone because he or she has this and you don't have it, you should be self-contented. You don't have to long eye.
Yes.
Long eye. That kind of thing. Because some of us we were going to school. I remember the school skirt and the school shoe I was using. My parents bought for me when I was still in Form 1. I used it up to Form 3. My skirt. My shoe. It was, this crush for you. Now you get fat under.
You're wearing shoes.
Yeah, Mrs. Python. My shoe was like this. I wore that shoe from Form 1 to Form 3. When I was in Form 1, I would even borrow my friend's shoe. But when I'm in school, I'll borrow the shoe and wear it. Maybe we'll exchange. Because when I'm going out for break, I'll wear that shoe so that at least people say that I've changed shoe today. Because they'll see me wearing the same shoe. Then when I come back to class, I change it again. But when I'm going back home, I'll wear those same shoes. It's in Form 3 that I realized that no matter how I struggle, I wouldn't oblige my parents to buy or to give me what they cannot afford. They want to steal. I used to sell this thing, flurry for my mom. I'm not carrying flurry, go school, they go person. I used to sell flurry for my mom.
No, they was.
In our school.
Okay.
They refuse. If they catch you with something, they will seize it. Either they will share it to other students. Depending.
Or
Once just repeat it.
But the teachers always have people studying for them.
Yeah, that's true. That's there. And it's with time that I came to realize that I must have everything I need. I got my first phone, like this phone I'm talking about that my dad gave me in phone 5. That was the very first time I started using a phone. And at Toronto,
Normally, in our time, we didn't really have like smartphones like that. We used to have like this churunko. And this churunko used to have just one function. Snake game. That's what it's my phone. Snake game. Like, and right now we have a whole new generation that deals with super devices. I call them super devices because they could do a lot now. And they are not using it for the greater good. They're using it to make. Why are you laughing? Are you laughing at me? Are you laughing with me? This video is really getting into you guys already.
No.
We're not talking about this topic again. Okay, this is the end of the show. Thank you for coming here.
No, it's not it's not actually the end of the
Can
show.
you please land better?
Please land, let's take it.
Okay. So I want to just find out what I was trying to say before you go rolling around to me.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah, so when you rolling around to me, I want to just find out. So what can we say about the introduction of the internet? Has it brought more good or more bad? How has it helped these behaviors? Is it the fact that it is free for everyone? That's what I want to find out right now.
For me, yes, the fact that it's free for everyone, it has brought more bad than good for me. Because though we have PG, what they call it, when they read something that children cannot watch.
Parental guidance.
Guidance. And there are still scenarios where, like for me, example, all my kid brothers and sisters, like from the family growing up, all of them now they have iPads, they have phones. They would they'll give them the phones. They will be on YouTube and TikTok, and they are watching videos. Though they are watching kids' videos, other videos may pop.
X video about this. Don't ask me how I know about it.
How do you know about it? What's the meaning, please? Can you tell us?
Is there something you want us to know?
Is there something you want us to
Please,
know?
this section is
Can you tell us?
Is there something you want to tell
No, I
us?
want to say it.
Okay.
Okay.
Certain things do pop. Is it pop in or pop out?
Mama, no be.
Whatever.
I wanna say we
Pop up.
understand.
Certain things do pop up and they see them. Yeah, though without watching them. And for now, like on Google, it's actually free to watch pornographic videos. So like there is no barrier there that the children cannot watch it. I've I read a story on TikTok that a lady went out and then left her kids with the younger brother and the house help. Before she came back, the door was open. So when she entered, she saw her kids, the younger brother and the house help. They were actually watching pornographic videos. And and the lady, the house help and the guy they were actually practicing it in front of the children. Apart from that, it is free on Google. Anybody can type. With the influence now that our children do have, like from people from the community, they can actually access those type of videos.
Because our goal here is trying to get to know how this thing. I'm sure internet has a lot of damage to a lot of generations. But how is it really impacting this generation when it concerns their bookwork?
I feel like I think students now having phone is actually a bad influence to them, because some of them get to access informations online. Some of them watch movies till that late at night. Like, okay, you can watch movie till 1. Some of them watch till 1. Some of them
On their
watch
phones.
on their phones. And when they go to school the next day, they start sleeping in class. They don't concentrate what they're actually going there to do. They don't concentrate to it. They start sleeping. And also, them also having that access to phone can also make them to access some videos that are not proper. So when they'll go to school now, they'll try to practice it with their
Which happens a lot in our generation.
which happens a lot in our generation. So they'll try to practice it with their fellow classmate, and that brings about sexual malpractice in school. That is not actually good, because they have access to those videos. Like some students go online to watch pornographic videos. When they reach now, they'll actually want to practice it. Some of them see things like, okay, there is always this I used to see this TV program, crime investigation, something like crime investigation or something like that. It shows how someone kills someone and hides the body, blah blah blah. So the police are trying to dig it up, and the person actually runs. Those are actually information that kids should not get, because yes,
I feel like those are building in minds. Like,
apart from teaching, if you don't have a strong mindset,
it might deviate you.
yes, that's it. If you don't have a strong mindset,
You that they gave me a phone in 4-5. Why did you not become like them?
because it was
Are
wrong.
you like them and we are just misjudging you?
Are you like them? Tell us.
I was emphasizing a lot on the fact that parents have a key role to play in the education of their children, because I received that kind of very tough training. I didn't have the right to. It's true that it was kind of difficult, because growing up, you practically don't go out. You don't have friends. But the only friends I had, I only had to see them. I could only see them in school. They didn't come to my house, because when I closed from school, in fact, my trajectory was school, house, then weekends I go to church. From church, I come back home. I'm not saying that my parents were perfect or that I am perfect, but it helped me to limit certain things. There are certain things that I cannot permit myself to do, like envy. I cannot envy someone, because I am contented with what I have. And the upbringing also helped me in such a way that I wasn't that exposed to such things. When I was in lower seat, there were already Android phones. It was trending. I had a lot of friends who had Android phones. They were taking pictures, they were organizing parties, all these pool parties. They would go drink, then when they come back, they will go over the weekends. Then on Monday, when they come back to class, they'll be narrating it, and then you feel as if you are a total stranger. It's not. You just have that feeling that you guys are not in the same world.
That's when peer pressure comes in.
That's it. That's it. But unfortunately, fortunately for me, with the kind of education, with the kind of upbringing I had, it did not impact me. It did not impact me. So when a parent or a guardian teaches his child that, okay, this is what you have, this is what I can give you, you must not have X, Y, or Z. It's not an obligation. I had my first Android phone in the university.
The first you were using was a Chorongo.
Where?
Chorongo 2.
Where? You have Camptel small Camptel phones. And he was always taking Camptel SIM cards.
Have you used the Nokia? No.
So I just believe that the advent of internet, it has brought a lot of negativity, yet there are still a lot of positive elements. For me, it's a 50-50. 50-50 in the sense that for the positive aspect, if a parent has a good relationship with the child
And then maybe there are certain things that are taught in school. For example, if the parent makes the child understand that, okay, you can do research on a topic to learn more, so that when you go to class, it will be easier for you to learn. But as you are doing your research, I'm sitting there. The parent has to sit there to watch what you are doing, because you will be thinking that, okay, let me trust him, let me trust her. You think that he's doing his research, whereas he's doing the real research. You don't know what's going on. When they are done, they delete it. So the bad thing now is no, they're still on the good things. The good thing too is that children can start acquiring skills. For example, maybe you realize that your child is a good writer. You develop his or her skills. Maybe with some online lessons, for example. He takes the lessons on, let's say, weekly basis. Because let's just estimate that he goes to school from Monday to Friday. On Saturday, Sunday, he learns it. Then now, maybe other practical skills like pastry, for example. My younger sister is so much interested into pastry.
I don't agree with that aspect. Do you know that they can actually learn all these things through online? And like the internet offline, like the internet coming now has actually made students to be more to be lazy. They're actually lazy. At first, there was actually no internet, no phones. People tend to read more, visit libraries, get information from books. And now students just go online, get whatever that has been written and packed online, and just get it. So it makes them lazy to study that much.
Who told you that when they were going to those libraries, they were really going to read?
Our parents have weird places where they met our moms. I don't want to
We all went to school.
If you're not shy and you go there to read, you read.
Remember, in all classes, there were couples. It's not as if there were phones. There were couples in all classes.
Yeah,
there were actually people that were not like them.
Yes,
Shritu, there is this place called in Shritu Bahai, which is in it was actually built for students to read both day and night. When it's actually night, they go in, it's a place that has been built as a house so that children can read, and there's actually the one outside. I was always going there to read. I saw other things that other students were doing, but I sat there. I had to concentrate on my book. So everything actually depends on your mindset.
It means that we are going back to that same point. That it is from your home training. Okay. It is from your home training.
Not even from home training. I was saying that without the internet or not, we can still make it when it comes to certain aspects. The internet just helps to spoil them that much, because at times they may be doing those research.
The internet doesn't spoil. The internet exposes us more. There are a lot of things that I have learned thanks to the internet. It's not as if life without internet is not good. We will not condemn it completely, but we cannot deny the fact that
I don't want to
phones.
I don't actually want to condemn it completely, but I feel like it's not 50-50. For me, it's 70-30.
Okay.
The internet just actually makes people lazy now.
I don't think
tackle with the bad things that are actually going on, false rumor, children saying certain things, getting to get certain knowledge from the internet.
This issue of internet, we can go on and on. We can't stop talking about the internet. It has touched our lives in so many ways, and it has spoiled our lives in so many ways. Yeah. Now we're trying to find out, why is it so very, very impactful in the lives of our youths today, youths like us, in where we are supposed to use it more for the greater good? Is it because the kind of things that pop up, like you rightly said, the kind of things that pop up in the internet, is it the ease at which people can search out what they search for? What really is making them do what they're doing? Like, what part of the internet is making them do what they're doing? Because we can go about the internet truly, like you said, it's not totally bad and it's not totally good. It had its own havoc, it had its own blessings that came along with it. And if we keep on going this way, we'll just end up blaming it on the internet for no good reason. Like you said, your mom or like you said, parents are the primary source of the problem. Because I can remember now like this, if you say you teachers get calls from parents at home and they say, don't beat my child. Like, don't touch my child. Even my child does what to you, make sure you come home and report to me. But we used to live in that society where neighbors used to beat you for your parents. Like they beat you and wait for your parents to come. If you do something wrong, your neighbor will beat you. Then wait for your parents to come. Then explain the story.
Beat you again.
Then they beat you
And
again.
they beat you in school. They'll tell your teacher to beat you in school.
So we get this kind of generation where things are, and I don't blame them though, because sometimes people used to beat as if they are wicked. They beat as if like
they use it to settle.
Yes, like they settle family problems. They have family problems.
Never problems.
Right. So I think like for me, I feel like it's a combined effort by all these factors why these children are behaving the way they behave. And now this drives us to this point. How do we solve this? Like, I just want us to talk about how do you think we can solve this? Personally, how do you think? Let me start with you.
Personally, I think that our parents should limit the access of their children. In fact, their children's access to phones.
So you're targeting internet?
Yes, internet as a whole, smartphones, internet in general, smartphones in particular. Why? Because for me, it's until you've reached 18 years that you can start using.
That's actually the bigger age for a woman to get married.
Yes, because at the age of 18, you're more reasonable. At the age of 15, 16, you can be doing a lot of nonsense. If a child of less than 18 years is supposed to have a phone, it should be Choronko.
But you know our African parents, even at the age of 23, you're still a child.
No, I'm saying I just want us to be realistic. Because if a child who is in Form 4 uses an iPhone 7 Plus, for example, do you think that the teacher of that child can talk to him? No. And just imagine that lecturer is using Techno. If Techno is watching this, you should not.
So Techno phones are the. Let me not say it.
No,
I think about your Techno. I'm not part of this.
No, I'm Nokia. No, Nokia was in those days.
There's still Nokia now.
Techno or Intel, for example. That child, because of the way iPhone have branded themselves, you know, it makes the children automatically have that superiority complex.
Yeah.
And then if they are using such big phones, an iPhone 7, how much is it?
It's roughly 80K now.
Oh,
Just imagine that a child uses a phone of
80,000.
almost 100,000 francs. Or the iPhone 7 is even small. Let's say that a child uses a phone. What's the latest iPhone? Is it 14?
14.
I saw some children. I went to this place, St. Clair. There were some secondary school children. They were coming back from, I don't know where they were coming back from, but they were having uniforms and were holding their phones. All of them had a 13 Pro in their hands. 13 Pro exists.
Yes, 13 Pro Max exists.
Is it 13 Pro? It was
13
normal
Pro
13,
Max.
but I know it had 3 cameras.
Yes. So with the Pro Max version, you have these 3 cameras back. You have with the Form 11, you have 3 cameras back, positioned like a triangle.
Okay, so they were holding those phones. I think the person who had the cheapest phone there was, I think it was iPhone 12, if I'm not mistaken. So you realize that those children have access to certain things that it's very difficult for them to be humble.
Yeah,
it is difficult.
So
In
practically
school,
they were carrying people's house rent.
they were carrying people's house rent now.
Lots of lands.
Mama, because you realize that in school they are disrespectful because they think they are big enough. And then remember, scamming.
Oh,
Scamming.
that's another topic for another day. I don't just want to go there.
Scamming.
That's every young boy's job. Every young now the girls are even dominating. That's the job.
The girls do pick up.
So, like I was saying, it still goes back to the home training. If a parent teaches his child not to be envious, that child will know that even if I want to do certain things, I have my limits.
Then what we're trying to say is parents should have this really good bond with their children from birth and try to make sure that they know every step of the child. Like there's a certain issue, you should not let your child do some certain decisions on their own. You should know exactly what they are up to. You should have rules in place that help these children grow. Because now I feel like most of the things, most of our surroundings now, most of our parents don't have these rules. There's too much laissez-faire. And I feel like we need to close this gap. We really need to close. Schools need to be checked. There's a discipline master. There are inspectors. I think inspectors should be able to do their work. If they say children are coming into school at this hour, I think they should be in school at this hour. And there should be a way, there should be punishment layout. Because now, of recent, the Minister of Secondary Education laid out a rule that you don't beat children in school again. So if you don't beat children in school, there should be punishment that make them understand that what they did was wrong, and they should be able to correct this with punishment that is befitting. I'm not saying that they should be hostile to the children. I'm saying they should be able to connect. We also have guidance counselors in school, right? We also have guidance counselors. So I think let's make good use of these guidance counselors. Well, it's just a suggestion. So I'm hoping that the pedagogists of supervisors and all these people out there can just take time, create out.
And also, we can also talk to the teachers. Stop dating your students. I know that there are certain things that they can do. There are certain things that they do. They come close to you. They give you green light, blue light, all the lights so that you can date them. Even black light. they give you everything. Please find it in your heart if you're a man or if you're a woman.
It's mostly common with men.
Yes.
With men.
Yeah.
Women don't.
Even with the women.
Women do it better. I'm not saying I'm not disputing
Some.
It's the same. When I was doing teaching practice, students do actually write letters and give to me.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Oh wow.
So it's just the same. And there's actually this when I heard that before a male teacher entered the class, girls always pull their skirts off.
Oh.
Some of them go to classes without putting on pants.
Oh wow.
Sit and open their legs.
Maybe I would like to teach some of these classes. Just get the experience. It's the problem. I have a good problem solver. I solve problems
we
with
are
you.
trying to solve this problem. Don't say that you teach.
I think
So please, they should look for every means to avoid all these things. Like, just forget about it if you're a man. Please, or if you're a woman.
Okay.
Keep a strict student-teacher relationship in class. And out of class, out of school, I don't think you should have the right to meet your student, except you are a tutor.
Even the tutors are not safe. Like the tutors go to your house and mess your children up. So like there's nowhere safe.
So we are just begging them.
It's just the right mindset.
Yeah.
Like you said, it's just the
I'm
right
also
mindset.
begging them.
I'm not begging anybody. Stop it.
We should beg them.
I'm not begging anybody. It's my right. Stop what you're doing. It's wrong.
We have to actually beg them.
I'm not begging them.
You don't
Like
touch their heart so that they can.
I don't want to touch anybody's heart. If you do it, I'll jail you. I'll show you. I'll bring you on the
Touch
show,
my
and
heart.
I'll make sure I expose
Touch my
you.
heart so that they should not give you the letters again when they get their rejected.
Try it.
Touch my heart because I will soon start taking it.
Any last words?
Yes, I actually wanted to add, in addition to what she said, the education of our children is everyone's responsibility.
That's true.
It is primarily that of the parents, but they go to school. When they go to school, the teachers are responsible for them. When they come back home, if the parents are not around, the neighborhood, the community is responsible for them. I think parents too should learn how to ask for help if they are stuck. If you see that your child, the method you're applying is not going, you can seek for help. You can ask from friends, you can ask from acquaintances, you can ask from specialists for those who have the possibility of doing that. but we are all responsible. It's just like if you see a child on the roadside misbehaving, if you see two children fighting, obviously you will intervene and you ask them to stop. You find out what the issue is. You try to resolve the problem. So we ought to be responsible for the education of our younger brothers, our younger sisters, our neighbors' children, our children. Each and every person in this society has his own contribution to make in raising up a child. Parents, please limit that liberty you're giving to your children. Giving them a big phone at the age of less than 18, it doesn't make you a better parent.
It just contributes.
They'll always be like, if you pass O level or
yes, because for me, you're spoiling them. You're spoiling them, and then just for the simple fact that they will have one kind of unlimited access to the internet, you realize that they will be far more exposed. Even if you want to give them phones, make sure you're always there to check. We all have that responsibility. I think that's it.
Okay. And talking on the part of internet, like most people don't know out there that you can actually set up parental control, parental guidance on your phone. Like when creating a Gmail, for example, a Gmail, because most of our Android phone runs on Gmail, you can actually set your Gmail that does not allow if below 18 is a Gmail for below 18. That in case of anything, they notify you of what your children or what your child or your children are doing. So most people just go ahead creating emails and they'll ask you, are you above 18, and you click OK, and you're just hearing, or you just want to finish up. But some of these measures are actually placed there to help parents control the way the children manipulate their phones or where they go to on their phones, but sometimes they don't just use it. So I hope that we get to understand some of these features. Everybody, even on TVs, on everywhere, there's always somebody you can talk to. If somebody asks you out, all those who listen to me out there, if somebody asks you out and you feel like the person is normally, as a student, you're not supposed to be dating. As a student, for concentrate for your book. Like if you can keep it to university, yes, you can start in university, then I feel like that is okay. But if you cannot control yourself, please, the relationship should be such a way that you can. You can always have a relationship. I know of people who have a relationship that their parents are aware about, and they control this relationship. Like anybody that means well for you should not be afraid to meet your parents. Not fear those boys that wear one and the same trouser for 2 weeks. Run. Those boys are after their destiny. One t-shirt. White t-shirt. They wash it with white, blue light. No chair.
Their bed is down on the floor. Run.
So I feel like it's a collective effort. There are so many factors that are helping these children go wayward. It could be the friends they have in the canteen. Many Banga boys are students' friends. Like they connect more with them, maybe more than their parents. And that's what they say, that you get close to your children. Yeah. So I think like everybody should be able to connect with a child and control what the children hears or her children watch. That is it for the show today. And for our viewers, please feel free to comment and tell us what you think and how you can best handle the situation. We are all waiting to read. I'm personally reading every comment. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.